fucking light. Right in my boy's face.
Yeah.
No worries.
Art. So with your brother. Absolutely. Thank you. Compliments from the schmo. I copied them.
Se baja.
Let me turn my phone on. All you need is that Tinder thing going. Bring, bring, bring. Like, what?
Where you do you camp out in Florida?
No, I live in Camp in Vegas. We go to Florida, yeah. We can.
So you train MMA too now, huh? How long you been doing that for?
I've been doing it for a while. Pretty steadily since I retired about 4 years ago.
Where you training at?
I own an MMA gym in Dallas called Fortis.
Okay.
Fortis MMA.
Nice.
So we got a bunch of like 15, 16 men and women in the UFC.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm out of a body shop with AJ McKee.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You know,
AJ's a beast.
Yeah, Joey
I want to
Davis.
see him.
I don't. His life.
Oh man, who knows? You know, who knows? That's my boy. That's my...
Let me tell.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Huh? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We out.
Food.
That boy right there.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Hey, we do is a problem,
Sure.
right?
It's just hard work. Hard work, no clout.
What's up with you, big dog? Yes, sir.
What's up? Hi, man.
Hold on. It was funny, man.
Actual big person.
It's crazy.
Who's the fighter?
About 60 grand to build.
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Want to welcome you down here, Tampa Bay, City of Champions. This is the final press conference for Paul versus Woodley II. And they promise that on Saturday, December 18th, they will leave no doubt as to who is the winner between these two fierce competitors. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. And on Saturday, December 18th, at the Emily Arena, these two will run it back. Paul versus Woodley. Leave no doubt. There are some tickets still available. You can purchase them through emilyarena.com, but they're expecting a sellout of more than 16,000 to pack the arena. This will also end what has become an unprecedented year for Showtime Championship Boxing as we close out the year with an explosive fight between two guys who want to run it back. Showtime has been the undisputed leader in showing boxing, and we can't wait to cap it off with these guys going right back at it. It's going to be a 4-fight pay-per-view card that comes your way on Showtime pay-per-view. We'll kick things off at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. The fight's going to be distributed to basically countries around the world. You can purchase the fight through cable, satellite. Also, we are streaming it on the Showtime app. You can get it through showtime.com/PPV. It's also available Canada, Europe, Australia, Latin America. The event is produced and presented by Jake Paul's Most Valuable Promotions, along with Showtime Sports. It's also in association with Tony and Bryce Holden of Holden Productions. We're going to talk to the fighters here about why they're running this one back. Get some thoughts from everybody. We'll allow members of the media. I know you have questions. We'll get to those as well. But let me begin with a fight that will come your way in the arena. It'll be off the TV, but it's on the undercard. 8 rounds, super middleweight fight. Anthony Taylor taking on Chris Avila. And, Chris, let me start with you because, you and Anthony, of course, fought in MMA. You won that fight by decision. What can you take from that fight into this boxing rematch?
Nothing new. I'm just gonna come in there and do what I do.
All right, Anthony. Fought Tommy Fury last time we saw you
Spanked him, Bellator.
on this card.
Definitely.
What can you take from that fight that's going to help you in this one?
Oh man, since the Tommy Fury fight, fought twice in Mexico, brushing up my skills. I'm a lot sharper, a lot faster, a lot better, a lot sexier now than ever.
Facts.
Chris Avila,
You looking good.
thank you, sir. Chris Avila ain't got nothing on me. Him and Cameron Diaz, aka Nathan Diaz Army, they ain't got nothing on me. I'm coming in with ferocious everything. I'm coming to knock him out first round to leave a statement. He's a nobody. I already beat him last time in the cage, smacked him up. Him and Nate tried to jump me, him and his boys, but that didn't happen because I had my team. But come this Saturday, he's going down.
Chris, in response.
Ain't about to do shit.
You sound like Nate, slurring like a dummy.
That's a fight that's going to be on the undercard. That's what we got for you as we jump into this. Now we get to the television portion of the fight card on this pay-per-view. And we've got Liam Perro, Yomar Alamo. And this is a really good fight for the simple fact that you've got 2 unbeaten fighters here going at it. And Liam, let me start with you because you're making basically your U.S. debut here on Saturday. It's my understanding that, listen, you've sparred with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, all in preparation for this fight. And the last Aussie that we saw come here in the States and shock the world was Teofimo Lopez when he fought George Kambosos, and we know what George Kambosos did to him. What are the same chances that you do the same thing to Yomar Alamo?
Yeah, exactly right. I've had a perfect camp. You just named the guys I was sparring with. So Saturday night, I'm going to go in there, and it's going to look like an absolute mismatch. I guarantee I'm going to make it explode onto the international scene in a big way.
I thought it was interesting. You told the media, quote, "This fight may look even on paper, but as soon as the bell rings, it's going to look like a mismatch." Tell us why.
Correct. You will see Saturday night. I'm world class. I'm coming for the whole 140-pound division. And after Saturday night, I'm putting it all on notice. And this is the start. This is the sculpt I'm going to take. Yoma Alamo is the first one, and I'm going to do it in devastating fashion.
Yomar, he says, listen, this fight is going to be a mismatch because of his skills. What's your response to that? Martin Bader would do the translation.
Yomar, bueno, acá tu rival dice que esta pelea no va a ser pareja para nada, que él te va a abrumar y que va a poner al mundo en noticia de que él es el mejor de los dos. ¿Qué le respondes?
Pues mira, él tiene, ¿verdad? El libre albedrío de comentar lo que él quiera. Sí deben entender que soy un gran peleador, por algo ostento el título latino de la OMB, por algo fui campeón nabo de la OMB y por algo ya quité un invicto a Kendo Castañeda, boxeador de Roy Jones Jr. Y estamos listos para cualquier adversidad y que venga preparado porque aquí también lo estamos.
He can say whatever he wants, but what he also has to do is respect the fact that I'm the Latin WBO champion, that I took on a disciple of Roy Jones Jr. like Castañeda, and I took away his unbeaten status. So he has to respect me. He has to know that it's not going to be easy, and I'm coming for it all as
Es-
well.
Eso es lo más que me gusta de mí como boxeador, que muchas personas me subestiman y nada, en el ring solo estamos la persona y yo y hay que dar lo mejor.
I love it when people underestimate me, but in the end, inside the ring, it's just me and him, and I'm going to show you him what I'm all about.
Last but not least, Yomar, let's be honest. You look at your guys' record. You've certainly faced the harder opposition. Do you believe Pero is on your level?
Bueno, los rivales a los que vos has enfrentado son los más difíciles comparado de los dos. ¿Crees que Paro está a tu nivel?
Pues mira, nosotros nos preparamos para cualquier rival. Aquí no hay enemigo pequeño, como dice el refrán, hay que ir preparados, hay que ir listos. No sabemos si él está a la calidad y rivalidad de los oponentes anteriores, solo sabemos que hay que prepararnos bien y vamos a obtener esta victoria, de seguro.
We're not about to underestimate anybody. There are no small opponents. You always have to be ready. You always have to be prepped for whatever is to come. But I can guarantee you something. We're going to come out with the win.
That's the first televised fight on this pay-per-view card. And then we get to a unique boxing match because you have football meeting basketball. Frank Gore, third all-time leading rusher in the NFL, five-time Pro Bowler, played in the Super Bowl. He's going to be taking on Darren Williams, Olympic gold medalist, three-time All-Star in the NBA. Frank, listen, I know you love the sport. I know that you love the sweet science. You've trained in it. You've sparred professional fighters. What is Darren Williams in the boxing public going to find out Saturday night here in Tampa?
Well, first I would like to say thanks to Jake and his team who put me on the Showtime card. I'm very excited about this opportunity. But a lot of people gonna really be surprised with my skill set. You know, I took this 8 week real serious. I always wanted to do this, and I'm gonna show the world that I got boxing skills come Saturday night.
Darren, same question to you. I don't know if people know this, but you love fighting. Grew up as a wrestler, own an MMA gym. So this is nothing that's new to you. What's Frank Gore in the boxing public going to find out about Darren Williams come Saturday night?
I think there's a stigmatism about, basketball players, being a little soft, and I'm here to show that's not the case. I've been training for a while, MMA, stand up, and making the switch to boxing has been a process that I've enjoyed, and I've taken this camp very seriously, and you're going to see that on Saturday.
Frank, there's a lot of people who are going to be tuning in, people paying hardcore money to come to this thing. What can you guarantee them that they're going to get when they watch you and Darren Williams fight?
Well, I think it would be a good fight. Like I said, I respect my opponent. I don't look at Darren as a basketball player, but I feel like any guy who get in the ring, got some type of toughness. He been around fighting, been doing MMA, wrestling, so I know that he got some type of toughness. But like I said, I'm ready. I train my behind off, and they're gonna see some good stuff. They're gonna see some good stuff.
Darren, we'll wrap it up with you. Same thing. What can you guarantee that those people are going to get when they see you in the ring?
Yeah, I think that it's two guys who are high-level athletes in their respective sports, who have decided to dedicate themselves to the sport of boxing, And, I think that it's an interesting fight because neither one of us has a fight. There's not tape on us. So you just have to tune in December 18th to see what happens.
So there you go. We start the night off, 2 unbeaten fighters. And then we go into a boxing debut, 2 professional athletes. And then we come to the co-main event. And what an event we had. Miriam Gutierrez, 14-1, 5 knockouts from Madrid, Spain. She's also won here, making her debut here in the States. And what a task she's got in front of her, because she has arguably pound for pound the best female fighter walking this planet, Amanda Serrano, the real deal. 41-1-1. 30 of those wins have come by knockout. The unified featherweight champion. She's won titles in 7 different weight divisions, second only to Manny Pacquiao. And I'm talking both male, female. She is at the elite when it comes to fighting. She enters this fight on a 27-fight winning streak. 21 of those have come by stoppage. She probably can't even remember the last time she even suffered defeat. It's been almost a decade since she's even seen a loss. That said, champ, what's the importance of this fight for you come Saturday?
Well, this fight is very important. Miriam is a tough, durable, big fighter, and she took the task of fighting me, and I had to get through Miriam this night. I know she's coming to. It's been a lot of upsets lately, and I know she wants to come in and do the same thing. But I've trained super hard, and I know Miriam is a tough girl, and it's going to be a great night.
Listen, there's no secret. Miriam fought Katie Taylor. I know you want to fight Katie Taylor. How much is this a test for you to see, okay, let's see if I have the goods to fight a Katie Taylor, because I'm sure she's going to be watching this fight.
You know what? We know Miriam is a tough fighter because she went the distance with Katie, and I know Miriam is she's a durable fighter and she's strong. So we have to go out there and just win this fight, perform to our best abilities to just to go on to the next one. But no disrespect to Miriam, I've been training really, really hard to her. I don't want to no more questions about Katie Taylor. 2 days out of the fight. My whole training camp has been concentrating on Miriam, and she's my focus come Saturday night, Miriam.
Miriam, all your fights have been in Europe. What are your feelings fighting for this here in the States for the first time and against Amanda Serrano?
Miriam, todas tus peleas han sido en Europa. ¿Cómo te sentís peleando en Estados Unidos por primera vez y contra una rival del calibre de Amanda Serrano?
Pues la verdad es que es una experiencia increíble, y más con Amanda Serrano, que es campeona en 7 categorías, que está bastante, es increíble. Y al final, bueno, vienes aquí porque quieres pelear con las mejores. Sé que ella es una de ellas, al igual que peleé con Kitty Taylor en su día, a pesar de las diferentes circunstancias. Porque cuando yo peleé con Kitty estaba totalmente todo cerrado y los entrenamientos eran totalmente de otra manera, y no podíamos salir de casa por las circunstancias que teníamos mundialmente. O sea que ahora mismo quiero disfrutar de esta gran velada, de esa gran pelea que viene y lo que venga, que estamos preparados para lo que sea.
This is an amazing experience, and to have that experience against a 7-division world champion like Amanda Serrano is just amazing. And I'm here to fight the best. I fought against Katie Taylor, but under different circumstances. It was really the pandemic. Everything was closed. Training was different. It was harder. So now I'm just here to enjoy the entirety of the experience, the fans, the atmosphere, and I love every single second of it.
Miriam, and listen, you heard Amanda say she wants no more questions about Katie Taylor because she's fighting you. But she told the boxing scene, I think this is a good test for me. She fought Katie Taylor, and this is a good test to see where I am in relation to that fight. I don't want to say she's a stepping stone, but this is something where I can see where I am with that fight on the horizon. Do you see yourself as a test for Katie Taylor? How do you see this fight?
Bueno, sabemos que Amanda no quiere hablar más de Katie Taylor, pero sí le había dicho a la prensa que quiere ver cómo vos sos como prueba comparado con Katie, ¿no? ¿Vos crees que ese es el caso de que te ves como una prueba similar a lo que podría ser Katie Taylor para ella?
Cada boxeador es de un boxeador diferente, no tiene nada que ver. Yo soy de una manera, Amanda es de otra manera, Kitty es de otra manera y depende también las circunstancias. Yo no soy una persona que, no sé, se ha brindado esta oportunidad. Sinceramente nos preparamos para los mejores. Sí, poder pelear con ella para mí es una grandísima oportunidad también de poder medirme y nada, trabajamos para ello.
Every fighter is different. I'm one way, Amanda's another way. Katie is different than both of us. And to me, the bottom line is that I prepare to fight against the best. Amanda is also going to be a great test for me. I want to see what I'm all about. And that's what this sport is all about. I want the biggest challenges, and I'm ready for anything that comes my way.
Amanda, we'll wrap it up with this. This is interesting, you fighting at 135. We already know you bring it at 126. But now 135, bigger opponents. Is there a piece of you too that says, I want to see how I do at this weight and if I can stop some of these women at 135?
Well, I have a couple of fights at 135 and a couple of stoppages
Yes,
at 135.
yeah.
You know, my
But
power.
it's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. But my power is real. I take it wherever I go in any division I go to. But yeah, it's a test. I know this girl. She's a natural 135 pounder. She's a little taller than me. So yeah, it's definitely a test for me too to go out there and like you said, it's been a while. So I have to test my power once again.
Miriam, we'll wrap it up with this. Reading up on you, I found out that you have a foundation you started based on something, unfortunately, that happened to a number of women in this country and around the world. Can you tell the people what your foundation is, why you started it, because of what happened to you?
Bueno, Brian estuvo leyendo sobre vos y le impresionó que tenés una fundación de una causa muy linda que ayuda a gente de algo que desafortunadamente le pasa a mucha gente alrededor del mundo. Contanos un poco de qué se trata esa fundación y qué te motivó a fundarla.
Bueno, la verdad es que yo no la fundé, fue mi entrenador, Jerónimo García, donde podemos ayudar a un montón de personas con exclusión social, donde se les aporta ciertas circunstancias, el poder practicar el deporte nuestro, que es el boxeo. Gente que no tiene ese tipo de recursos, poder darle unos guantes, un espacio para poder disfrutar de ese tipo de deporte que sé que nosotros estamos a gusto y disfrutamos de él.
The foundation is all about preventing social exclusion. It was founded by my trainer, Jerónimo García, and it's about giving people the tools to cope with what social exclusion doesn't give them. We want to give them a space to be themselves. We want to give them a pair of gloves and a space to feel safe more than anything. Preventing social exclusion and making them part of an inclusive atmosphere.
Fantastic. That, absolutely. She suffered from domestic violence from someone who was very close to her. And out of that, she started her foundation. So congratulations. Great thing you doing that.
Felicitaciones por haber fundado la fundación y él contaba sobre cómo tuviste el problema de violencia doméstica y te sobrepusiste a eso y por eso te está felicitando.
All right. Now we get to the main event. We've got the chosen one and a problem child. Jake Paul, 4-0, 3 knockouts. Tyron Woodley, second professional fight. Jake, we'll start with you. I guess the first question is, what were your thoughts when Tommy Fury all of a sudden pulls out of the fight last week? He says because, obviously he had a medical condition going on, and then all of a sudden, Tyron Woodley is your opponent again. What went through your mind?
I just thought to myself, it's funny how these professionals like Tommy Fury, who's considered a professional boxer, gets sick, breaks a rib, and doesn't want to fight. I fought sick. I fought hurt. You got to go in there and get the job done. And then they're like, oh, you got Tyron Woodley now. No problem. That's why I got the ski mask on. They're going to give me a big bag to go and beat the guy I already beat. This is a bank robbery.
I see you got a belt here. Says the most valuable boxer. Jake Paul. Is that belt for you? Or is that for the most valuable boxer of the night? Explain the belt for us.
This belt is for me. That's why it says for Jake Paul right here. But this is the most valuable boxer belt, designed by Alec Monopoly. We got a diamond Rolex on the side, a diamond Cartier on the side, and then the Hermes Birkin bag sewn into the side for the most valuable boxer of this generation.
The chosen one, Tyron Woodley. So, Tyron, you get another crack at Jake. You were already training for a fight. And then all of a sudden last week, you get the call like, hey, do you want to run it back? Give me your thoughts. Did you think this would happen? And what were your thoughts when you actually got the call last week?
My thoughts when I got the call is that, things happen for a reason. I think this is all a part of alignment. And, it's been times in my mixed martial art career where, we get a fight done and we always think we need a break. We need to go on a vacation and we need to just download because the training camp takes a lot of energy and a lot of time, a lot of PR. And something told me this fight wasn't going to happen. Something didn't sit right with me about the Tommy Fury matchup. It didn't make a lot of sense. I didn't think people were as excited about the Tommy Fury fight as they were with me and Jake. So I flew my coaches into town end of September. And I said, this fight ain't going to happen. I said, this fight will not happen. I said, my spirit is telling me it's not going to happen. So we started training. Not really as a replacement, but training because I just didn't feel like the fight was going to happen. So when I got the call, the sentence wasn't even finished before I was in. So I'm just excited about the opportunity to go out here and redeem myself. We found out a lot about each other that night in the ring, some mutual respect, but it's still some unfinished business.
Now, I know you guys did the bet thing. Do we have another bet going on here this time, Jake?
I mean, we just added to his contract that if he can knock me out, he'll get $500K bonus on top. So that's that. I don't need nothing. I already got everything.
Does that?
I just bet I beat his ass. That's my bet.
I'm a eat your ass. I'm a beat your ass.
I'm not falling for that.
You won't let me? Nah, Paul.
Luckily, we're on Showtime. It's okay. It's okay. It begs this question though. I'll start with you, Tyron. I rewatched the fight, and I think the question a number of people come away with was, fourth round, you almost knocked this man in the front row. Why didn't you finish him?
One thing that you got to recognize in this sport is, when people are down and they're wounded, they make the comment that when somebody backs against a wall, when somebody's like a wounded dog, you got to be patient. And you got to be patient on trying to finish that deal off because Jake has shown in his fights. You watch the Nate Robinson fight. You watch even when he knocked out Ben Askren, he wasn't really looking at them at the time. They walked forward. He looked like he was going loaded on Ben's body, and then he came over the top. Nate ran in and rushed into a right hand. So, you got to respect power. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like he don't have power. He does have power, and I have power. That's why you guys want to watch this fight again. So when I was looking at that, I actually punched him he was under the first rope, land on the second rope, hooked on the third rope, and sitting on the fourth rope. And we went into the boxing ring earlier that day, and we noticed how tall the top rope was. It was really at the back of my head. And at that point, we started measuring the second and the third rope. And those ropes are kind of really loose. So they went to tighten the rope up. And to be honest, when I punched him, he actually sprung back into the ring based upon the second and third rope. So when I was going to punch him for the second time, I don't go out there and cry over spilled milk. Like Jake said, he had an injury. Most fighters fight with injuries. You train your ass off. Most of the injuries come into training. And when you sign a contract and you walk in there, you don't cry fit. You don't go in there and complain about it. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. You don't make excuses afterwards. But when he came back in, I was trying to punch him again. I actually wrapped around his back. And I felt like my elbow was a little bit of hyperextended. So I said, Tyron, walk him down, get in his face. You're in better shape. He's backing up. And I was punching and trying to make him punch back so I can counter punch him. But I really didn't feel like it was time for me to just go in there with avalanches of punches. He was hurt, but he wasn't to the point where he was dangling around and his legs were shaking. So hindsight is 2020. I could have went in there and threw a barrage of punches, and he could have came with that right hand that we saw. He could have came with the left hook. Maybe I could have did more. Maybe I could have been a little bit more active, but we're in there. You know what I mean? We're in there. We see what we see. And I gotta go off my experience on what I saw. My last UFC fight, I hit the guy and he had Bambi legs. And I said, it's over with. And I went in there for the kill. And when I did that, he clipped me with a shot. And, I wasn't thinking about let's be safe, but you got to be a professional out here. This is a young kid. He hasn't really went a long fight ever. This is the first time he ever went more than 2 or 3 rounds, right? His chin has not been hit that often. He's going to be able to take a punch. So those are the things that an experienced fighter think about. So I know people wanted to see, it was more so people wanted to see me knock him out for them, and I think that's why everybody, oh, you shoulda, woulda, coulda. I want to see you guys get in there and do it.
Jake, I think it's important to debunk something that came about after that first fight. There was this rumor going on. There was a clause in the first fight that you couldn't be knocked out. And that was the reason why Tyron didn't go for the knockout in the 4th round after he took out. But you just said there's an extra $500,000 if he does knock you out. Tell me why you said, okay, let me up the ante.
I guess my career has just become shutting people the fuck up. And this is just another version of that. So up the ante, prove that there's no knockout clause. The fact that people think that they're idiots, and I'm willing to put money on it. That's it.
I appreciate the half a bag. I'm going to throw in some crypto.
Does that put any more pressure on you to try to get the knockout?
Absolutely not. If you go to the recreational center, you play some one-on-one basketball with a guy, he beats you 7 rounds to 1 or 7 points to 1, however you want to look at it. And then you come back next Thursday and you want to beat that guy in one-on-one basketball, just because he is going to pay you to beat him doesn't mean you can. I'm not nervous at all about that. If anything, it's my advantage. He's going to come out, try to knock me out. And like he just said, he's going to get caught because he respects my power. A lot of people online were saying, why didn't you finish him? Why didn't you finish him? Because Tyron felt my power in the first round, and he knew that if he walked into that shit, it's on the canvas. I hurt him multiple times in that fight, but for some reason people don't want to talk about that.
When did the referee ever come to us my way to save my life? When did you hurt me? When did you nearly put me to the canvas?
7th round, overhand right.
Yeah, you
Picture
know what
that's
happened
on my
after you did the overhand
Instagram
right?
with your
I
head
got
going.
back in your face like the
and
Terminator.
you fell forward into my arms, and I caught you. I saved your life, but
Guess
not this
what?
time.
Every time
not
I
this
hit
time.
you, you ran.
Not
Every
this
time you
time.
hit me, I walked you down. I got back in your face. So when you hit me, it actually made me even more pissed off. So at the end of the day, I don't know where that analogy came from with the basketball game. You lost me and everybody in this room because you definitely didn't win 7 rounds, number one. Number two, why didn't you knock me out? If you hit me with the hardest shots, why didn't it make me back up? Why were you the one running the whole time?
So it begs the question, and we'll wrap it up with this.
Let him answer that.
I said, no, 100%. I didn't hit you with my best shot, and that's the beauty of this fight coming in, and that's why I'm
Why
so
didn't you?
confident.
What was you
I
saving
didn't
it
hit you with
for?
my best shot. It was a bad night, and I still beat you.
It was
plain
a
and
bad
simple.
night?
And you should be embarrassed by that because I beat you
Well,
on a
Saturday's
bad
gonna
night.
be a bad
and my
night.
first time going 8 rounds.
That was
First time
that
ever
was a
getting
Christmas
hit by
gift.
a 10-ounce glove.
August
So,
29th was a Christmas
You
gift.
don't know.
December
How about this?
18th,
You don't know
Saturday
what's
night is
coming
going to be a
up.
bad
Hold on,
night.
we'll wrap it up. How will you be different this time around?
You'll see. Enough with the talking. We're 2 days away. Everyone can tune the fucking showtime.com/pay-per-view. Fucking be there. Otherwise, you're missing out on one of the greatest fights ever. Thank you.
Tyron, how will you be different?
I don't need to be different. I just need to go out there and get it done this time. I needed more time the last time. This time I'm getting some extension to that last fight. So I'm going to get the round done. This is the round 9 to me.
Here we go, folks. Leave no doubt. Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley, Showtime pay-per-view. I know members of the media have got questions. We got a mic. We just ask that you introduce yourself and tell us who you are and who you're with.
This message is, this question is for Frank Gore. I'm Greg Ivory with Bleacher Report Betting. I'm riding with you. Me and the BR Betting is riding with you on Saturday, but you the underdog. So what do you got to say to the people that's betting against you, Frank?
Man, I've been underdog all my life, bro. I'm okay with it. I will say, like I said before, I train real hard. I've been around this sport for a long time, and the world gonna see my type of skills I got in the boxing ring.
Mark Raimondi for ESPN. I just wanted to ask Anthony Taylor a question. When this fight was first booked with Chris Avila, you posted on Instagram that you're not a fan of the Diaz brothers, Team Diaz, and you don't like anything that they stand for. Could you elaborate on what that means?
Well, stating back to the last time I fought Chris Avila, when I smacked him up in a cage, Nate, aka Cameron Diaz, didn't like the fact that I beat his butt buddy. So Nate got butt hurt, threw a water bottle at me. Him and his group tried to jump me. From there on, it's been beef like that. Now I got the opportunity to shut him up again. And if Nate wants the problem, we can settle it somewhere elsewhere. But, I'm coming into this fight with a whole new skill set, dominant. I'm going to show you guys why I transitioned over from MMA to boxing.
And then just for Chris, any response to what Anthony said, and how do you see the fight going on Saturday night?
It's an 8-round fight, and it's gonna play into my advantage. He ain't got what it takes, so he can say what he wants. And the last fight when we did fight, he didn't do shit. You can watch it again, and all he did was run. He didn't engage. He probably ain't gonna do the same shit on Saturday. So
the only thing you engage in is pot smoking, bro. You're not even a fighter. You like 8 and 9, bro. You suck, bro. Like, I swear to God,
this
suck.
guy's just mad because all my homies already whooped his ass and punked him all over the place.
Yeah, but I got that
It's all
W
good, though.
on my name, not yours. You're a has-been, bro. You're a drummer boy, bro. Like, you a nobody. Like, you lucky to be on this card because of me. Come on, bro. Because of me.
I put this dude on too.
Right. Come on. Nate put you on, bro. Your boyfriend put you on, bro.
He went on to fight Tommy Fury, whatever.
Man,
Ain't
stop
no real
playing
fighter.
Stockton.
Got put on.
You
Got
ain't
put on
about that
again.
life.
So
You ain't a gangster.
Ask your question.
Hi, Caroline Jastrzemski, House of Highlights. I have a question for the NBA legend. If you were putting together an NBA boxing card with current players, who would you want to see on there?
That's a tough question. Well, Kendall Gill for one, because he's had some professional fights, so I definitely got to throw him on there. James Johnson. James Johnson. I think James Johnson's like a black belt, so I know he's got some training. Throw him on there. And like some legends like Charles Oakley, because I know he used to throw hands on a regular. One of my former teammates, Jerry Stackhouse, because he used to throw hands on the regular as well. So I'd probably put those guys on there, and then I'm gonna throw myself on there.
You're just gonna leave out Nate Robinson like that?
Come on, man.
That's not necessary.
All right, here we are. This is the Schmo with the Schmo Zone. Question for Jake Paul. Yesterday at the media workout, you mentioned that Tyron Woodley's power was about a 4 out of 10. Have you been touched with anyone who's had a 7 or greater out of 10?
Yeah, I definitely have. I've sparred with 3-time, 4-time world champions, professional boxers, guys who are bigger than me, heavyweights. I sparred a guy who's 6'9". Those dudes can crack. And that's why I said his power is 4 out of 10. He won the UFC championship with that right hand. He hit me with it. I was off balance, yada, yada. First time I've been hit in a real fight. Cool. Take it. No problem. Come back and win every single round after that. So that's why I give him a 4 out of 10.
Tyron, if you're a 4 out of 10, what is Jake to you for all the people that you felt?
I mean, to be honest, Jake was kind of running, so I would measure his track speed more than his punching power. So I give him a 10 out of 10 on his back pedal. He should probably be a cornerback.
I might actually go to the NFL after this or NASCAR. I'm still
cool.
debating.
Who's next?
Hi, Chris Maxwell with Sporting News. Tyron, yesterday during media workouts, Jake Paul had compared himself to potentially be the next Muhammad Ali. What is your reaction to that?
I mean, that's his goal. Like I don't crush people's goals. Whatever this dude want to do, that's on him. Like Saturday night, I'm whooping his ass. So whatever his plans is, like that's one thing about me. I'm real. I'm not gonna bash just to unnecessarily bash to sell a fight. If he got goals and he got ambitions, shit he want to do, then have at it. But Saturday, my goal and my mission is clear, and it's independent of his.
Back here in the back.
Yeah. Josh Cassio, Fox 13. Tyron Woodley, if you win this fight,
Start using the right words around here.
when you win this fight, will there be a trilogy?
Let's just focus on the fight. I mean, shit, we can talk about a trilogy. We can talk about 4, 5, 6, 7 times. But, you know, if I don't get it done on Saturday, this conversation is off the table. So right now, I'm laser focused on Saturday night. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm more prepared than I was the last time. And the small adjustments I made in training, even before the fight was announced, I think those little small things are going to give me the victory.
Hey, Jake Donovan, BoxingScene.com. Amanda, I had a question. You said you had to eat your way to maintain lightweight throughout this camp. What's the one food you've enjoyed the most that you haven't been able to in past training camps?
Well, I was able to eat whatever I want. I mean, I had a nutritionist who made my dinners, but I guess I try to avoid bad foods. So chocolate chip cookies, like the real ones, the ones that comes out the oven. That's what that's my craving.
Okay, very cool. And then my question for Miriam, do you find it crazy that you're going to now face arguably the 2 best pound for pound fighters in order to win a world title?
¿Te parece increíble que hayas tenido que enfrentar a las 2 mejores peleadoras de la actualidad para poder tener la oportunidad de ganar un título mundial?
Hombre, para eso estamos aquí, porque hemos trabajado para ello. Y la verdad es que es un honor poder pelear con las mejores.
That's the whole reason we're here, to fight the best, to go after the highest honor. And it is truly an honor to fight someone like Amanda and to fight the best and to be considered to fight the best.
We have one more.
Mike Straka, Big 8 Radio here in Tampa. Tyron, now that you're on this journey, would you recommend this journey for other MMA fighters like you've been to take on boxing and take on other paychecks after your career in MMA is somewhat over?
You know,
if they want to lose.
For me, he was talking to a man. Let the child be quiet. For me, I've always been a trailblazer. I was the first one with the vlog. Make sure you guys check out Champ Camp. It's crazy right now. I was the first one that really entertained these ideas even before Conor did. I was talking about boxing before, and then actually my coach Dean Thomas was talking about boxing before any MMA fighter was boxing. So my mind has always been ahead of the curve. I suggest people do what they are put here to do. Everybody will watch Instagram and internet and they see something cool and they want to go and do it. Like, that's not what here. For one thing, this fight against Jake, I don't know what it is with this kid that makes me excited to train, that makes me want to get in the gym. And that's why this fight was important to me the first time, and that's why it's important this time. You know, whatever excites you and motivates you to go out there and do whatever God puts you on this earth to do and passionate about, do that. Every MMA fighter should box. Some MMA fighters should box, but they got to make that decision for themselves. So I'm not going out there, you know, waving the banner for MMA. I'm not going out there waving the banner for anybody that want to see Jake get his butt kicked. I'm doing it for myself. And if anybody benefits from it after that, then, you know, multiple birds with one stone. But do what you're supposed to do. Do what you got put you here for. Don't sit here and try to follow my footsteps.
Thanks, T. Wood. Jake, conversely, you know, as T said earlier, you've proven your power in the ring. Would you ever consider taking an MMA fight?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think it could happen.
You a lie.
Why not? Why not?
You a lie.
If I can learn how to box in 2 years and beat people like him, then why can't I learn how to do MMA?
Let's do
in 2
MMA
years
then.
And beat people like him.
Let's do MMA then.
So that's
finish
my answer.
boxing
Is
stuff.
it will happen at some point. 100%.
Let's do this MMA after we do this boxing stuff, so I
100%.
can elbow you in the head and knee you in the nugget.
So there you have it, folks.
Cap.
Hall versus Woodley 2. They say it's all about leave, no doubt. Comes your way, Showtime pay-per-view, Saturday, December 8th 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Our first time back here in Tampa in 13 years, but we'll be at the Emily Arena. You can get tickets at emilyarena.com. Make sure you get them because we are expecting a sellout at that arena. Ladies, gentlemen, appreciate it. Let's get a face-off here, guys. Let's face off.
Yomar, Miriam, por favor, que vamos a tener los careos, así que prepárense de atrás. Ahora les van a decir a dónde ir.